Song's pretty good. What's up, guys? It's Big Man Chief Ant here. Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a book rant, which I think this is book rant 19. We're almost to 20, guys, so hopefully you guys are still enjoying it. Tell me if you guys still enjoy this series or not, because I've been doing this for about half a year now, and I just felt like if you guys still enjoy them, I'll do them because they're easier for me than doing like the TBR wrap-up, and it kind of splits me beyond the... makes me stand out in front of a crowd. So, I don't know, that's just me being selfish. But you know what? Enough chit-chat about the book rant itself. Let's get to the actual book rant. So, let's get into this. Alright, so I have two books I'm going to review first, and then I'm going to show the book I'm currently reading, and then all the books I plan on reading, like usual. If you've seen these videos before from me, it's just... that's how they are. But you know what? Let's just get into this with Night Film by Marisha Pessl. I am aware that I hauled this in my recent haul, but I already read it, and to my surprise, I loved it. It was fantastic. Sure, the ending is very weird. I thought the ending was just like, huh. But you know what? The majority of the book was very well done. I loved the majority of this book. However... and it's not, actually, no, it's not the ending, it's like the chunk before the ending. Like, the ending itself was fine, it's just that it kind of dragged itself out for, like, about, like, 50 pages of nothingness, which is weird, because for the longest time, even though it's like a 600-page book, he was handling its pacing really well. So, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I love the characters, I think they're fantastic. Scott is one of the greatest detective characters I've seen in a long while, if not ever. He's just so fantastic. And the other characters like Nora and Hopper, they were fantastic as well. And the story of just this beaten down detective trying to solve the murder of a famous filmmaker's daughter in order to revive his reputation. It's just phenomenal. I love the writing, I love the characters, I love the story, so I highly recommend this. And then the next book is something that I don't love nearly as much, but I can still get behind, and that is Caroline Kepnes's You, another book that I featured in my latest book haul, and hopefully hopefully, I've already read it, but this was good. I liked it, more so the first two-thirds. I thought the first two-thirds of this book were absolutely fantastic. I saw what people saw in this book. Kate over at K-File said this book was fabulous! So, what was that voice? Fabulous! It sounds like Cartman on helium, but anyway. Caroline Kepnes's writing is very unique. It is written in both the first-person point of view and a second-person point of view. It is told through the perspective of Joe, this kind of stalker who works at a bookstore, and he references you, somebody as you, and the person he references as you is a woman named Beck, who's an inspiring writer he's fallen in love with. Strangely fallen in love with. And I was loving this book. I was really getting into the characters. I thought it was fantastic. And then something happened. And I'm not going to say because it's spoiler territory, but if you read the book, it's where a new character just randomly appears and like, oh, we're supposed to care about this character, haha. And then from there on out, it's just, the last third was just complete setup for a pointless sequel. This really should have been only standalone, and I honestly have, if it was ended better, I may have read Hidden Bodies, but I just lost any interest in reading Hidden Bodies, but I can still recommend this book if you're interested, but if you're not interested, it's an easy skip, but if this sounds like your thing and you like psychological thrillers, go ahead and check it out. Alright, and then I'm getting to the book that I'm currently reading. I'm about 200 pages into this, and before I get into this book, actually, I just want to tell about a story. So what I was doing this year was I'm going to be reading a very long book, like 700 pages or longer, every month of this year. Or at least 11 books for 11 months, because I didn't do one for January. And my original selection was Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, and the book I'm about to show you was my selection for March. However, everybody that I was doing Anna Karenina with, like everybody that I was reading Anna Karenina with, like Kate, she has a group called like read those classics on a bookshelf, on your bookshelf, I think is what it's called, but I probably butchered that as well. But that group was originally, that her and a whole ton of other people were going to read it, and then Kay hated it, loads of people other hated it, and I just decided, just forget it. Don't read Anna Karenina, even though you don't like Tolstoy's other work, so why would you like this? But I was just willing to give it a shot, but you know what, forget it. So I decided to pick up this book instead, and so far, blah, perfection. No, not absolute perfection, but like, I'm loving it so far. Absolutely loving it. And that's Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. Ken Follett is one of those authors that I just see only because this and the sequel to this book, A World Without I don't know what it's called. World Without End, I think is what it's called. Those two books sound absolutely fantastic. And then he has another trilogy of like 1,000-page books called like the Century Trilogy, which centers around the 20th century, which sounds awesome. But other than that, he wrote a lot, but a lot of it is trash. But people say this series and the Century series are fantastic, and at first I'm like, yeah, this sounds good, but it sounds like kind of like stereotypical, you know, if it's well written, it's well written and whatever. I'm never judging one of these books ever again. Oh my god. This is like 5 out of 5 so far, and I'm already blown away. I only sense this book getting better because I'm only 200 pages into it. Not even 200 pages, like 190 pages into it. It sounds absolutely phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal so far, and it sounds like it's only going to get better. I just need to set this down because if I hold it for any longer today, I'm gonna explode because I was reading it for like 2 hours. Oh, it's so good. But warning, it is very dense. But it's the good type of dense where you just want to figure out more, even though you've already read like 200 pages. You're like, oh, I gotta read more. But it's a masterwork so far. It's truly phenomenal. And now we're going into the books that I want to read, and the first one is The Reluctant Fundamentalist by Mohsin Hamid, I think is how you pronounce his name. Mohsin Hamid, this book I've heard iffy things about, but you know, I'm never going to trust those iffy ratings ever again. And when I went on Goodreads, yeah, it doesn't have the greatest ratings. It has like a 3.6 average, but I've seen books that have worse. So I decided, it's really short, so you know what, just give it a shot. It's another nominee for the Man Booker Prize. I'm not usually the biggest Man Booker Prize fan, but you know, I have my exceptions, and I hope this is one of them. Alright, the next book is a book that I originally tried, like, the first 30 pages of and just could not get into it for the life of me. So, I decided, but then after reading another book that I showed earlier in this video that I loved, which is Night Film by Marissa Pessl, I decided to try Marissa Pessl's first book, Special Topics in Calamity Physics. I tried this book before and I just found it to be a very cheap ripoff of The Secret History, but that's pretty much the basic, that's kind of like the reputation this book has, but you know, Night Film was just such a great book that I sense I'm going to at least get some enjoyment out of this, so if I end up hating this with a passion, I'll just stop it, but you know, I love Marissa Pessl through Night Film, but hopefully I can still love her through this book. Alright, the next book that I have is The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. This is kind of like Shadow of the Wind. I'm getting so many Shadow of the Wind vibes from the premise and just the cover alone. But I think this book is about like some like bookstore owner or something like that. I don't know. I don't know much about this book, but it sounds good enough. So yeah. All right, the next book is a really short book. It's Our Souls at Night by Kent Harif. Kent Harif wrote a Plain Song, and he writes in like this town that he calls Holt, Colorado. And I loved Plain Song. I thought it was fantastic. But the other books I tried to get into him were just eh. So I'm going to try to get out of the Plain Song trilogy and do one that's set in the same town, because all his books are pretty much set in the same town, but do it with different characters, because this one explores different characters that aren't in like the Plain Song trilogy. So yeah, I can't wait for this one, because I loved Plain Song, so I just need more Kent Harif, people like Kent Harif, and I know people are going to point to William Faulkner, but I'm just not that big of a Faulkner fan. I don't know, but that's just me. The next book that I have is Ann Tyler's Dinner at the Homesick Restaurant. I tried to pick this up picked this book up many, many, many times, and I just keep getting, like, sidetracked by other things. In fact, I don't even, I kind of liked what I read, but I need to give it a solid chance, so here it is. And the final book for the video, guys, is The Orphan Master's Son by Adam Johnson. Abraham Freese blurbed this, and I love Cutting for Stone. Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. But, this is about, like, some son whose mother disappears, and his father works, is like a coordinator for orphan workers, so, I don't know, it sounds depressing, but, you know, I'm a sick person, so I have a sick taste in books, but, you know, sometimes you just gotta, I don't know what I'm gonna say, actually, my mind is gone, but this won the Pulitzer Prize, I think, and that's the prize I'm much more of a fan of. I love the Pulitzer Prize. I usually love the Pulitzer Prize winners, and I have this, and I also have The Sympathizer on the bookshelf, which is a book which was the most recent Pulitzer Prize winner, so let's see how this goes. So that was the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below what you guys thought of the video, and as always, I'm Mega Man Chief Fan, and I'll see you later, guys.